Hey, Korbanth Saber fans, Korbanth here. Going to show you how to work with your new Star Killer Sith Stalker. This is our newest version that's created by Sabers. I really like this version. It's fantastic. It's wrapped in a leather straps, and when you first get this, you'll notice that whether you buy an empty or if you buy an installed one, most of the time this little strap is around it, and it says here, cut off these cable ties after installing the spine. So let me describe what that means. For the most part, if you cut these off and then you remove this screw, this one, and this one, there's nothing holding these on. In this little package, you get the extra screws, you get some extra springs, and the Allen keys. So the reason why this is telling you to do this is because when you go to take this one off, these buttons may pop out and there's springs, and we don't want you to open this up and then the buttons fly out everywhere. So you have to be real careful, mostly in opening the button one, because it's easier to do it this way. So when you get an installed one, what I do is you could still, the way you put these on is it goes like this. You take this screw out and then you put this on like this. You mount the two screws in and it's in. You can do that with all of these. It's just you have to be careful when you get to this piece, because when you go to pull this out, you have to hold this down so this doesn't pop out. If you took this off, the buttons are just held in by a spring, and they're easily replaceable. You can easily put them back in. It's just, you may go, oh my gosh, it all came apart, but it's not. It's just the buttons are held in by springs. So if you take this panel off, they will become loose, but they're easy to put back in. So you want to put these on in a certain order, and then you can clip this off, and then you're fine. The way to open this is to open up the bottom. You have this piece here. It's called a spacer. Holds the chassis in. Now, I do this. Give it a little bit of a shake to pull the chassis out. This is your chassis. You have the on-off switch right here. You got your Profi board, the on-off buttons, the font changing button, speaker, and you can also remove this battery. Make sure you always put the battery in with this nub facing this nub. Plus you can see there's a little plus sign right there. And so negative is always the flat end of the battery, and this is the back end. So always put it going facing forward. I highly recommend you put this battery on the provided charger that we send with it. Charge it overnight. That's the very first charge the battery gets, is the most important charge. Put this back in, and you're good to go. You can test it if you want. You can hold it down to turn it off, or you can turn it on and twist, turns it off. This is your font changer.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You still have much to learn, my young.
Why do I get the feeling I'm a Jedi? I know.
As you see, my...
So uncivilized.
So the way this goes in, line these buttons up with these buttons. Just goes right in a groove. It'll go all the way up in as far as it can. You have to put this spacer in because this is what holds it up into place. And then you can go ahead and get this screwed on. It's hard to see from this angle. There we go.
I shouldn't have done that. It's not the Jedi way.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
Up here is the blade retention screw. Make sure when you put your blade in, tighten that to hold the blade in place. And then you've got your little I guess we call these the little claws that will go up. I can't think of really anything else to show you, to educate you on how this works. It's pretty straightforward. 2-button saber. This is about one of my most favorite lightsabers of all time. I just love how long this thing becomes when you have all the parts on there. It's just gigantic. But it's from, if anybody doesn't know who this character is, this is from a video game that came out close to 15 years ago called The Force Unleashed. And there was a second version of this game called The Force Unleashed, the Sith edition, which had this character you could actually play in some missions, and this was his lightsaber. This was basically Starkiller Galen Merrick, and if he turned to the dark side, he became this character, and this was his saber. So I'm really excited by it. I hope you will be too. If you have any questions, you know where to reach out to us. Have a great day.